Hello there, lovely people, it's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and today we're going to look at 10 fantastic new games coming to the Nintendo Switch in the month of June 2018. So if you're watching this in 2019, sorry. We are, of course, only going to be looking at 10 games, and these are games that have had their release date confirmed, and we're going to be doing them in chronological order. Obviously, this isn't every game coming in June, this is just 10 of them. But anyway, enough waffling, let's dive right into things. First of all, we're doing a game that's technically maybe not even a game, yes, Shape of the World, coming out on the 6th of June. Yeah, this is a game that definitely isn't going to appeal to everyone, but that's fine, it's just, you know, it's one of those games that is very, I suppose, arguably artsy. It's more of an experience than an actual game. Basically, it's all about exploration, and you're going around this world, this created world that creates itself around you. It sort of grows, and you just go around and explore, and it's all fairly psychedelic and surreal, and it's just designed to be something that you just experience rather than play. As I said, this really is not going to appeal to everyone, but I really like the look of it, and I thought this deserves a little bit more spotlight, because it seems to be a little bit forgotten, and it looks like a lot of passion's gone in, so yeah, I think I'm going to include it. Well, clearly I already have. Next up, something that is undeniably a game, Sushi Striker, The Way of Sushido, coming on the 8th of June. I should probably look at the dates before I start talking. If you're watching this and you don't happen to have a Switch and you like the look of this game, it's also coming out on the 3DS. But what kind of a game is it? Well, it's sort of like a puzzle fighting game, sort of. I mean, I suppose in some regards it's somewhat similar to things like Puzzle Fighter. Was that a thing? It's like Street Fighter puzzle game? Or am I just imagining that? You have to eat a load of sushi, build up the plates, all of the same kind, and then fire those at your foe to try and, well, beat them. It's a fairly simple concept, but it's got a lot of legs behind it, and it's very engrossing, and you find yourself just sort of play, oh, I'll just play one more round, and you just keep doing that on and on and on. So if you want that kind of game, this is right up your street. Only thing is, this is quite expensive for the game itself, so maybe just hold back for just a little bit, and maybe see whether you can get it at a special rate, a little discount perhaps.
Just in the middle of editing this, quick thing I forgot to mention, Sushi Striker The Way of Sushido has a demo available on the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo 3DS eShops, respectively. That makes no sense in this context. But yeah, so if you want to try it out for free, do that.
Shortly after that, on the 15th of June, we've got the next entry in the LEGO franchise. Yes, it's LEGO The Incredibles. No doubt largely to tie in with a new film that's coming out called The Incredibles 2. Catchy. This looks like a LEGO game, to be honest, which are generally very entertaining. They do sort of vary in quality a bit, but this one does look like it's going to try and employ some interesting new mechanics, you know, largely focusing around the special powers of the characters from The Incredibles, which is good fun. They've got a good variety of different things they can do there. The proof of the pudding will be in the eating, of course, because it's not out yet. The classic LEGO humour is there, and hopefully the replayability as well. It's looking like a solid entry in the LEGO series, so if you like those games, your quid's in. Then on the 17th of June, just 2 days later, we have got Flashback, or as it's sometimes referred to, Flashback 25th Anniversary, and sometimes it's called Flashback Remastered. It's Flashback. If you weren't around in 1993, or you just weren't aware of what was happening in 1993, like me, then you won't really remember Flashback, but you may well have heard of a very similar game called Another World. It's essentially an action platformer game, but with very realistic physics and jumping, and very smooth motion, and honestly, for the time, this looked amazing. It was also notoriously incredibly difficult, and understandably, back then games just were more difficult on the whole. I think it was sort of like a leftover of the old arcade days where it was all about taking your money. This version features the classic gameplay back from 1993, just as difficult as it was, but with a new rewind feature that allows you to rewind if you completely fluff something up, which will help a lot. However, the amount that you can rewind depends on the difficulty you're playing on, so if you still want to play things hard or you don't want any rewind at all, you can have that still, if you're one of those masochist types. Then on the 21st of June, we have got Minecraft! And I know what you're saying, Alex! Minecraft has been out on the Switch for ruddy ages. And you're right, it has. Minecraft has been on the Switch for ages, but that was Minecraft Nintendo Switch Edition. This is Minecraft Bedrock. Or at least I think that's what I know that's what it's referred to internally. I've got a friend who does Minecraft stuff, and so that's how I know this sort of thing. Basically, the version that's coming out is not the same as the version we've already got. Basically, it means it can work with other versions of Minecraft as well, and you can do all sorts of different things, including things like Marketplace, so you can actually download stuff that people have created on the Minecraft store. It basically opens it up. Did I say when that's coming out? Then on the very next day, the 22nd of June, we've got the Big Daddy itself, Mario Tennis Aces. We've already done a preview of this game, talking about our experiences with it, and by our I mean mine, and you can find it by clicking that card up there. It's a really good, fun game. It's basically what Ultra Smash should have been, in my opinion, and so much more besides. It introduces loads of new mechanics, it looks amazing, runs even better, and it's just overall an incredibly good, fun game. I'm really looking forward to playing the proper, full experience, and not just what people will let me play at Nintendo's headquarters. There's also a free download that you can get right this second to play it this weekend, if you're watching this the week or the day that it goes out. Basically, it's a free online tournament. It costs nothing. It's only available for a short time, but yeah, try it out. It's free. Why wouldn't you? Madness. Coming up on the 26th of June, or the 29th if you happen to be like me and you happen to live in Europe, sucks to be us, we have got Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana, or I think that's how it's pronounced. If you've never heard of Ys before, then you're not alone, nor had I until it was announced for the Nintendo Switch, but from what I can see, I haven't yet played it, but my goodness, I really want to, because it's essentially an action RPG. Some people are calling it an action JRPG, which to me sounds like a contradiction in terms, because I always thought that was more about being turn-based. In many ways, it looks like a cross between Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Monster Hunter, which is no bad thing. I'm a massive fan of both of those games, although Monster Hunter isn't just a game. From what I've read online, the story's a little bit throwaway, but the action more than makes up for it. So yeah, I'm all about the gameplay, me, so this looks tasty. Also on the 26th, we've got Lumines Remastered, or Lumines... This is essentially the love child of Tetris and Dance Dance Revolution, a sort of falling block game that's combined with a rhythm game, and from what I've heard, it's ruddy brilliant. You can no doubt see how it's working by looking up there, so I don't really need to say much, do I? It looks good. It's a good solid platformer. It's a puzzle game. It's not a platformer. And it looks good. Then, just 3 days later, we have got the game that I've been looking forward to for so long, Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus. It's finally coming out on Switch. We haven't actually seen that much of this game running on Switch, but I mean, it runs on the same engine as Doom, and that runs beautifully on the Switch, especially in handheld mode. When I was going to MCM, I thought, well, I've never really tried Doom properly portable, so I thought I'd have a go on the tube, and it was marvelous. So the full kind of first-person shooter experience on a portable device like that is just insane, and something as well refined as Wolfenstein, it's just, yeah. The game's ludicrous, gory, high-octane, looks amazing. From what we can tell so far, it runs really well on the Switch, much like Doom. So yeah, I'm excited. And lastly, on the very same day, the 29th of June, Crash Bandicoot N. Sane Trilogy. This was originally supposed to be coming out much later, but I don't know, maybe they just sort of finished it and they thought, well, it's running really well. Should we just release it? This is the first 3 Crash Bandicoot games remade from the ground up for modern systems, and it's marvelous, it runs beautifully, and it's coming to the Nintendo Switch. It's not the first time Crash Bandicoot has come to a Nintendo platform, but nevertheless, it's still an occasion worth celebrating. I never had much of a chance to play the Crash Bandicoot games when I was younger because I was more of a Nintendo person, and as I said, they did come out on Nintendo platforms, but not all of them, and apparently the first 2 are the best, and those are the 2 I haven't played. I've played the third one a bit. So I'm really excited to see what all the fuss is about, as should you, because apparently they're really good games. And there you have it, 10 great games coming to the Nintendo Switch in June. Of course, I do want to give a shout out very briefly, or at least a mention, I should say, to Dark Souls Remastered on the off chance it comes out in June. Chances are it probably won't, but you know, we can live in hope, can't we? But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why didn't you look at that subscribe button every single day for the month of June? Because you can, and be sure to check out NintendoLife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo-related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.
just in the middle of editing this, and I forgot to mention something that's relatively important. Sushi Striker The Way of Sushido will also have, in fact, I think it also... maybe I should get my facts straight before I start recording. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Maybe I should look at the camera.
Then on the very next day, we've got the big Chipotle themselves. That makes no sense.